Hey, Brian from SnakeBytes here. Baby snakes are hatching like crazy, and I'm going to spend this week showing you some of our gems. You're watching SnakeBytes. Baby snake season is here, and for a snake breeder, it's the best time of the year. Now it's colubrid season, which means that we hatch thousands of babies per week, and they're really coming out. The thing that's amazing about baby snakes, and I've always been fascinated about, is the fact that as soon as they hatch, they're 100% independent. They don't need their moms, they don't need anything. They just crawl off and they have to fend for themselves. Today, I just want to show you some really cool snakes that are hatching here. Now let's go ahead and start with this bunch of snakes right here. Check this out. These are actually Mexican black king snakes. Now they're called nigritas, and they're a king snake, and they get about 3 to 4 foot long, and they're just jet black, which makes them really incredible. Now in the same clutch box was a clutch of cow kings and albino cow kings. Look at the difference between these two guys. They certainly are precious animals.
What was the most number of snakes that BHB has ever hatched out in one day? A, 1,678, B, 1,420, C, 1,270. Go ahead and comment down below with your answer and check back later in the show to see if you're correct.
This week's reptile report and snakebite spotlight is crested geckos. Go ahead and check out the URL down below or the link in the description. Moving on to the next egg box, and these guys are just absolutely gorgeous. These are Pueblan milk snakes, and these guys seem to be in a little bit of a fight right now. They're actually biting each other, which is really unusual for baby snakes to do. I'm not really sure why they're as feisty as they are right now, and now they're trying to bite me, but you can definitely tell a milk snake with that beautiful red, black, and yellow triads or bands that they come. Now these come right out of the egg, and they do extremely well. They're probably the easiest of the milk snakes to work with. What's really cool about them too is that they breed like mad. They'll have 2 and sometimes even 3 clutches a year, and they'll have anywhere from 8 to 10 eggs per clutch. So that's a pretty big amount of baby snakes. Now these guys are some of my favorites too. These are a little albino black rat snakes, and they're super cool. Now I started breeding these guys when I was about 18 years old, so there's a special spot in my heart. And then this is another cool mutation. This is actually an albino licorice stick rat snake. And again, that's a double recessive mutation. And in the same clutch box, sticking with the rat snake theme, these are some greenish rat snakes. Now, they're not the most glamorous of the rat snakes, but for some reason, I really always like the greenish. And we have some albinos too that will be hatching later in the season, so those are really special too. Let's move on to the next box. Now these guys are beautiful snakes. These are actually what they call San Luis Potosi king snakes, really commonly called Mex-Mex because it's a lot easier to say than San Luis Potosi. Now this is a smaller milk snake or king snake. They're from the Mexicana species. They only get about 3 foot long, and as you can see when they hatch out, they're just really gorgeous. Now we work with a mutation that's called granite. And that's what this pattern is right here, is just kind of graniting size. These guys are absolute beauties. Now, you might notice that a lot of times when I'm showing you snakes, I'm showing you 2 different clutches in one box. And you might ask yourself, why do I do that? The truth is, it's just a matter of conserving space. We produce so many clutches of colubrids that if we put 1 clutch per box, we would just run out of space. Now there happens to be a leucistic scaleless rat snake hatching out of this clutch right now. I can see the bubbles percolating up, but they're not quite out yet, probably another day or 2. So its clutch mates here are actually albino emery rat snakes. Now emery rat snakes are very similar to corn snakes, but they get a little more stout bodied and they produce fewer eggs. And this is the albino version. As it gets bigger, it gets nice green spots on them, which really contrasts that orange color tremendously well. Another really cool rat snake are these guys right here. And these are Kunisser Island rats, or Climacophora. Now they're from the Japan area, and they're really kind of bland animals as baby, just kind of a dull green color. But the truth is as they get bigger and get to adult color, especially males, will get this beautiful turquoise highlight throughout them. They're truly a breathtaking animal. We also produce albinos of these guys, and believe it or not, there are some areas of Japan that worship the albino Japanese rat snake. Moving on to these guys, and you guys know that I've talked about Brooks kings in the past, which are South Florida king snakes. These are really similar to these. These are called blotch king or goini, and what's neat about them is they hatch out with such an attitude, and they're really extremely polymorphic. Look at this one here that's completely patternless, and this one that has all of the blotching, which is more typical of the namesake, or what you might catch down in the Apalachicola County of Florida. But again, really cool animals, aggressive feeders, and they grow really quick. Now check this animal out. I always love hatching these guys. These are actually Terra humera mountain king snakes, or no block eye they're known as too. But just look at how gorgeous they are with that black, yellow, and red, and that really intricate pattern. I tell you what, still one of the most shockingly beautiful snakes that I produce each year are these albino milk snakes. This happens to be an albino Nelson's milk snake, and you can just see just that red and yellow and white. It's almost like a candy cane snake. And whenever people come to visit me and I show them these guys, holy cow, they just get mind blown by it. And the truth is, when these guys first were produced by a guy named Doug Moody, believe it or not, they cost $2,000 a baby. And that's right, that's when I bought them. Now you can pick up an albino Nell snake for about 75 bucks. So that's a pretty good bargain, and it certainly has come down a lot in a completely affordable animal. Now these guys are desert king snakes, or Splendida. They're endemic to the southwest part of the country, and they're much like a cow king in their temperament and even their body mannerism, but they have more yellow in them, and as they get older they even speckle out a little more. I tell you what, the yellow in these guys is absolutely breathtaking. These guys were a little bit of a pleasant surprise. Again, I showed you Pueblan milk snakes earlier, and we actually work with a mutation that's called hypo-Pueblan, but believe it or not, this clutch wasn't supposed to be het for hypo. So when we hatched out a couple little baby hypos, it was really a cool surprise. Now what hypomelanism means is just basically it's lacking some of the black pigment or melanism, but it's not albino, and it gives it that kind of purpley hue, which is really gorgeous. Plus just the attitude on this guy, it's just unbelievably cool. Moving on to the next clutch, and this is an interesting clutch of corn snakes because it's a lavender bred to a charcoal. Now there's all kinds of different stuff that has popped out of it. First off, these are little opal corn snakes, which are just really uber pink animals, and as they get older they're going to get more and more pink. We also have what they call a moonstone, or an aneurystic lavender corn snake. But the animals that are really amazing in here are actually a hypo lavender charcoal corn snake. That's just one cool snake. Now these guys are really tiny, so I'm hoping that they eat pinkies really well. But I tell you what, they're going to be gorgeous when these things hit about 3 foot and get their adult color, and it's just going to be breathtaking. Now this is a cool clutch of just a bunch of albino cow kings. Now albino cow kings are great pet snakes. They do really well, and look at that. It's just cool when you see a whole handful of baby king snakes. What we have here are some butter corn snakes. Now butter corns are actually an albino caramel corn, and as they get older they turn brilliantly yellow, hence the name butter corn. They're absolutely gorgeous, and I love corn snakes to death. They're one of my favorite snakes and something we certainly produce a lot of. Speaking of which, here's a big clutch of albino, snow, and even an albino striped corn snake. Now what's really interesting about corn snakes is the fact that every now and then when you breed two albinos together or two snows together, there's hidden genetics. After all, there's so many mutations of corn snakes that oftentimes they just kind of pop up, and you really never know what you're going to produce when you hatch out a clutch of corn snakes. And speaking of that, this is probably one of my favorite clutches of the year. I really love the Tessera stuff, and it's a codominant mutation, a pattern and color mutation to some extent. and we bred a Tessera to a ghost, expecting to produce about a half a litter of Tesseras that were het for ghosts. And guess what? We popped out all kinds of really cool animals in here. Here's a hypo Tessera, which again, I was not expecting at all. These are normal Tesseras right here. And then we even had a little ghost in here, right here. Check this out. Here's a ghost Tessera corn snake. Now that thing is absolutely gorgeous. And there's even, look at this guy here. I didn't even see this one before. This is actually a black or aneurystic Tessera. Whew, these are some gorgeous snakes. Well guys, there are so many more baby snakes that I need to show you, and we're totally out of time. So I guess I'm gonna have to do a baby snake hatching part 2. So make sure to tune into next week's show. It's gonna be epic, the stuff I'm gonna show you.
Hey Brian.
Yeah, what's going on?
Did you know that Jamie worked 65 hours last week?
No, I had no clue.
Do you know what he did?
I don't, it's really busy out there. Maybe he just did busy stuff, but as soon as he gets in, I'll ask him.
All right, thanks.
Hey, Jamie.
Yo, what's up, man?
Lori had told me that you worked like 65 hours last week.
Yeah, man, I've been working a lot of overtime. I mean, it's busy back there. I mean, snakes are feeding, they're breeding like crazy. They're just eating, man. So I'm killing it. I gotta do it.
I guess that makes sense.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna go spot clean some ball pythons right now.
Okay, man. All right, good job. Keep it up.
Yo.
Hey, Josh, have you seen Jamie today?
I saw him walk in this morning.
He said he was going to be spot cleaning ball pythons today.
Dude, he doesn't work in this room. I think he works with Sam, doesn't he?
I could have swore he said ball pythons. I'll go check.
No, dude, he never does work in this room.
Hey, Sam, have you seen Jamie?
No? Why would Jamie be in here?
He's not in here spot cleaning?
No, it's just me and Mike in here. Mike does that.
First, he told me spot cleaning ball pythons, and then Josh said he just spot clean too. So what does Jamie do?
Didn't you have him working with babies?
With Bregan?
Yeah. That's what I thought.
All right, I'll go check there.
All right.
Hey, Bregan.
Yeah,
Please tell me Jamie's in here.
Jamie. The bald guy?
You mean Jamie doesn't work in this room with you?
No, I don't usually see him.
Where the hell does this guy work?
Huh.
Josh, I'm really starting to freak out. I've got a guy that's working 65 hours a week, but no one knows what he does. When you hired Jamie, what did you tell him to do?
I didn't hire Jamie.
You didn't hire Jamie.
No, didn't you?
No, I didn't. Did Lori?
She had to have, right?
All right, let's go talk to Lori right now. Lori, please tell me you hired Jamie.
No, I didn't hire Jamie. I thought you hired Jamie.
Well, I didn't hire Jamie, Josh didn't, and you didn't. Who hired this guy?
Are you kidding me? The guy punches in every single day. I cut him paychecks, and nobody hired him.
Dude, we gotta go find him.
Yeah, you better figure that one out.
Oh, man. Oh, I will punch out.
What's the deal, man? Obviously, the three of us never hired you. You obviously don't work. What's the deal? Do you even work here?
I guess not anymore. But do you think I can get my last check, maybe?
Are you kidding me? No!
What was the most number of snakes that BHB has ever hatched out in one day? If you said A, 1,678, you're 100% correct. Good job.
Alright guys, you've seen we are hatching baby snakes left and right. They're everywhere, and baby snakes are just so cute. I'm also pretty partial to baby polar bears. They're pretty cute too, but I want to know, what is your favorite baby animal? Leave a comment below and let us know.
So there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. It sure is exciting this time of year, seeing all of those baby snakes. If you want to follow any of my animal adventures, make sure to hit me up over on Facebook and Twitter at SnakeBytesTV. Until next week, you've been watching Snake Bites. Just basically, it's lacking some of the black pigment or melanism, but it's not albino, and it gives it that kind of purpley hue, which is really gorgeous. Plus, just the attitude on this guy.